Hello everybody, I am back in Glasgow after a 2-week trip to Singapore, and boy do I have some stories to share. I was in Singapore for an art residency, which was capped off at the end with an exhibition opening. I want to go through the process of the residency, of the work that I made, some of the thoughts that I had surrounding the theme, and of course, what I did in Singapore overall. But why was I there? Well, I was there for what's called the Tropical Lab, which is an art residency that is hosted every single year by LaSalle College of the Arts. It's a 2-week residency where students in their post-grad program, so either a master's or a PhD program from all over the world, come to Singapore to think about, to look at, to make art and share it with each other. There were fine artists, sculptors, painters, printmakers. We kind of had lots of various different skills. It was really fun to get to know people and see what they were making, see what they were doing. So every year Tropical Lab has a theme that they work off of. This year's was playground. Now, when I heard playground, I immediately had flashbacks to elementary school, playing on the playground during recess. There's a lot conceptually to work with, and everyone kind of approached it in a different manner. I knew I wanted to stick in the realm of textiles because that is so much of what my practice is about nowadays. And I really wanted to see if I could tie in some of the work I'll be doing for my dissertation in the fall for my MFA program. So what I came up with was connecting to some of those materials that are associated with the playground, chalk, and draw a giant crochet doily on the ground. Simple, right? Easy peasy. This idea of working with chalk, I feel like provided a strong conceptual foundation for the work, the installation that I was going to do. I used chalk as a kid to draw on the best canvas in the world, your driveway. These drawings were me like staking a claim, staking an ownership on this larger canvas that is the pavement. I was sharing my ideas, I was sharing what's in my head with this like larger audience, i.e. that audience was my fellow elementary school kids, my fellow third graders. As these drawings are erased and redrawn, and maybe someone turns the sprinklers on and completely washes it away, maybe someone else takes up your space the next day, and that material connection is what I wanted to bring into my installation. So I had my mom scan and send a few doily patterns from our crochet pattern library, which is really just a tote in her basement full of loose papers and crochet magazines that have patterns on them. But she scanned them, sent them to me, and I was able to put together a pattern that I was able to transcribe onto the ground with these chalk pens. And I don't know why, but I always decide to choose the worst projects for my back. So shout out to my little blue scooter. Without you, I would not have gotten through that. It allowed me to not kill my knees. It allowed me to not kill my back. And although it was still hard work, I was able to scoot around on those paving stones with relative ease. The installation process for this took about 7-ish hours, and I did it in the afternoon. This installation is an actual working crochet pattern. You can take a picture of it and go home and make this long runner doily if you wanted to. Okay, I did layer 1, or this is going to be the very central block that's going to run all the way over there, but the first square is done, and I have a little bit of room on either side for an edging design. Okay, there's some more updates. I've made it, I don't know, 2/3 of the way down with the center bit. I've already used about 3 chalk markers, so I feel like I need to go all the way, but oh my god, this is gonna be so much work. Maybe I'll ask the curator, see what she thinks. Juice break! I'm gonna get some good old orange juice. Squeeze the oranges. Okay, ready to go again. I'm all the way down with the middle part of the doily, so I am just deciding on the edging now. I think I have decided on a pattern. I'm kind of mixing it up a little bit, using a vintage pattern from my mom's magazine, and then also using this pattern book. So I'm going to end up using this edging right here, and draw all of this all the way down each side and edge. But then hopefully, after I add a key, so everyone knows what stitches are where, then I can be done. But I'll go ahead and start doing that now. With the light of the vending machines to guide my way, I completed the last stitch on my doily. Okay, it's been a night. My back doesn't hurt, so I think I'm doing okay. I'm gonna put a key on the side of the piece so that people know what they're looking at. And then I think I should be officially done after some cleanup, which is exciting. It only took me a day to do, so I would call that a win. I think the best part of this work is the title. I really popped off. I'm really bad with titles usually, but this one came to me in like a flash of inspiration. This installation is titled Who Sets the Ground Rules? This doily then becomes maybe a larger metaphor as it gets walked over, as it gets smeared by footprints, as the staff and students and visitors are smudging and smearing these lines on the ground and changing the pattern that I wrote and set into Singaporean soil. I just think it's a larger metaphor for maybe questioning some of these norms and these societal rules that are set that kind of guide culture, that guide us in some of our everyday actions. Of course, this whole residency ended with an exhibition. We had everything from graffiti and video works and self-directed plays and performances. We had a space to nap in, a sheet fort. We had some really quiet works, maybe some more participatory works. It was a great exhibition opening to kind of cap off all the work that we were doing for the previous 2 weeks. This whole experience was an awesome way for me, one, to see Singapore, kind of do some touristy stuff, but I think some of the bigger lessons and takeaways that I had were building some of that confidence that I have about my art practice and the work that I'm doing now. But overall, Singapore was an amazing experience. I had amazing food, I made some cool art, and I soaked up a lot of sunshine. So I hope you enjoyed sticking around. And if you wanted to continue following along, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, hit that subscribe button. I really do enjoy capturing some of these memories in video. It's just another way for me to share with my friends and family about what I'm doing. I hope you have a good rest of your day, your afternoon, your morning, your night, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.